Imagine being 80 years old, still free, independent, and living each day to the fullest. You walk with ease, your heart full of joy, and your mind at peace, unburdened by the worries that often come with age. This is the life of Martha, a woman living amidst the pristine nature of rural America. In her later years, instead of relying on her children or moving into a nursing home, she chose the path of independence, taking full control of her life. In a society where it's commonly believed that growing older means losing independence and that living alone equals loneliness and hardship, Martha's story is a powerful testament to the opposite. A life of freedom, vitality, and purpose. This is what Martha has embraced and continues to enjoy, defying society's expectations. Martha is 82 years old, living on a small farm in rural Iowa, USA. Her entire life has been connected to the land, the crops, and the farm she and her husband built over 50 years. When her husband passed away 10 years ago, her children were worried and frequently encouraged her to move to the city to live with them for care and companionship. But Martha refused. She chose to stay in the small house surrounded by wheat fields, where she felt close to nature and free to live as she wished. Every morning, Martha wakes up early, before sunrise, and listens to the roosters crowing from the chicken coop behind her house. After washing up, she brews a hot cup of coffee and sits on the porch, watching the soft morning light spread across the endless fields. For Martha, this is her favorite time of day. Nothing compares to the peace she finds in the nature around her. "There's a sense of tranquility here that I can't find anywhere else," she says. As she sips her coffee, Martha often listens to the birds chirping and enjoys the quiet space that she cherishes so much. After finishing her coffee, Martha tends to her vegetable garden behind the house. The garden is not only a source of fresh food, but also a source of pride and joy. From tomatoes to zucchini and herbs, everything is grown by Martha's own hands. "I grow everything I need, and there's even enough to share with my neighbors," she says with a smile. The daily farm work not only keeps her healthy, but also helps her stay connected to the land. In addition to the garden, Martha cares for a small flock of chickens. They are an essential part of her rural life. Each morning, she checks on their health, feeds them, and collects the eggs. While others might find this work burdensome, for Martha, it brings joy to her daily routine. Living alone does not make Martha feel lonely. On the contrary, she is happy to manage her life without relying on anyone else. "I've been independent my whole life, and I don't want to change that just because I'm getting older," she asserts. Despite being over 80, Martha takes care of everything herself. If her house needs minor repairs, she asks neighbors or friends in the village for help, but she never lets anyone do everything for her. Martha refuses to hire help or move in with her children because she believes she's still healthy and capable enough to manage her farm. This gives her a sense of pride in her resilience and independence. "Living independently makes me feel confident that I'm still in control of my life," she shares. Though she lives alone, Martha never feels isolated. She's always been a part of the small community where she resides. In the afternoons or on weekends, she invites neighbors over for tea, chatting about the weather, farming, and memories of the past. Martha is also part of a local book club, where she and other older women discuss their favorite books. One of Martha's favorite events is the town's annual Harvest Festival. Every year, she brings her garden's fresh produce to display. The homegrown goods she brings not only make her proud, but also help her maintain her connection with the rural community. "The relationships I have with those around me bring joy and a sense of social connection. It helps me feel like I'm not alone, that I'm still a part of this place," she reflects. Her relationship with her children. Martha has 3 grown children, all of whom live far from her farm. Her eldest daughter, Helen, is a teacher living in Des Moines, about a 2-hour drive from the farm. Her middle son, Robert, is an engineer in Minnesota, and her youngest daughter, Linda, works in New York. Though her children live far away, they remain close to their mother and frequently check in with her. Helen, the eldest, has often urged her mother to move closer so she can take better care of her. But Martha always declines, insisting that she's happiest and freest living on the farm. "I know my children worry about me, but I've lived here my entire life. This farm is not just my home. It's part of who I am," she explains. Though her children can't visit as often as they'd like, they stay connected with Martha through frequent phone calls. She often tells them about her daily activities on the farm, stories about the garden, or the chickens that have just laid eggs. This helps maintain a close bond between Martha and her children, even as she chooses to live independently. To ease her children's concerns, Martha installed a few security devices like a doorbell camera and an alarm system. "Helen bought me the doorbell camera, and I use it every day. It makes me feel safer, and it also helps put my children's minds at ease," she says. Martha believes that living independently doesn't weaken family bonds. She's always taught her children that maintaining a healthy distance is essential to family harmony. As she often says, "Family is like a bowl of soup, too close, and you'll get burned, too far, and it'll grow cold." This belief helps Martha and her children remain close, even without living under the same roof. The benefits of living alone: freedom and independence. Living alone in old age isn't just about survival. It's an opportunity for seniors to have complete control over their own lives. From daily routines like wake-up times and meal choices to larger decisions about health and finances, they can make adjustments based on their personal needs and desires, without having to adhere to others' schedules or expectations. Older adults can slow down and enjoy life on their terms, giving them a sense of freedom that they may have lost earlier in life. This sense of autonomy is incredibly important for seniors, as it provides a deep sense of self-worth and identity. While aging is often associated with dependence, living alone proves their capability to handle everything, big or small. Completing everyday tasks, whether it's tending to the garden, cooking a simple meal, or fixing something around the house, gives them a great deal of pride. Each independent action reinforces their competence and dignity, helping them maintain self-respect and feel like active contributors to their own lives. More importantly, this independence isn't just about physical tasks. It extends into emotional and mental well-being. Living alone offers seniors the space to think and create freely, without having to compromise with others. A small room in the house can become a personal space where they indulge in hobbies like painting, writing, or simply relaxing. This freedom to manage their own space brings them joy and deep satisfaction, a form of happiness unrestrained by the demands or expectations of family. In many cases, living alone is a testament to resilience and inner strength. After years of shared responsibility and decision-making with family, being able to shape their daily life independently allows seniors not only to affirm their independence, but also to take pride in this accomplishment. This is also a time when they can fully enjoy their personal interests and passions without having to adjust for others. This freedom isn't isolation. It's a precious gift that helps them build a balanced, high-quality life where each choice reflects their own will and desires. Managing personal health effectively. Seniors living alone often have to handle their daily tasks independently, from cleaning the house, tending the garden, to walking or light physical activity. This not only keeps their bodies active, but also helps them maintain their health naturally. For example, Martha always takes care of her vegetable garden and chickens every day. These light activities help her stay active and physically fit, rather than becoming passive and dependent on others. Living alone allows seniors to focus on caring for their health in their own way. They can plan their meals and adjust their daily routines without worrying about the needs of others. This not only helps them maintain good physical health, but also reduces the risk of age-related diseases. Healthy habits such as regular exercise and balanced nutrition are managed more effectively when they live independently. Financial independence. Not being tied down by the expenses related to children or family allows seniors to manage their finances more effectively. They can decide how to spend their money on personal interests like traveling, pursuing hobbies, or saving for the future without worrying about supporting others. Take Linda, a 75-year-old woman living in suburban Texas, who raised 3 grown children in a small but cozy home. She and her husband worked hard all their lives, saving every penny to ensure a comfortable retirement. However, in recent years, Linda began to feel anxious about her financial situation. Although her children are grown and have stable jobs, they frequently turn to her and her husband for financial help. It all started during the economic downturn when Linda's eldest son, John, lost his job. At that time, I didn't hesitate. Of course, I would help my child, Linda recalls. She and her husband helped John pay off his debts and covered his monthly expenses. Initially, it was meant to be temporary, but even after John found a new job, he continued to ask for financial support. The financial relationship between Linda and her children started to become complicated. Her youngest daughter, Amy, also frequently called asking for help with her children's tuition. Linda loves her children and never refused, but she began to feel the pressure. I thought that when my kids grew up, they'd be the ones taking care of me, but now, I'm still the one supporting them financially. Linda had assumed that her children would be ready to support her in her old age, but instead, she found herself continually bearing the financial burden for her family. My son always says that he'll take care of me in the future, but right now, it's the opposite. I've spent my life saving for my retirement, but now I'm using that money to help my children through their challenges. Linda's situation is not unique. In the US, it's not uncommon for older adults to support their adult children financially. According to a study by AARP, 25% of individuals between the ages of 28 and 39 received financial assistance from family or friends last year. Many older adults are sacrificing their retirement savings to help their children, even as they face growing financial pressures themselves. While Linda takes pride in the support she's given her children, she's also becoming concerned about her future. I don't want to become a financial burden on my kids when I can no longer take care of myself, but if I keep spending money like this, I'm not sure I'll have enough to sustain myself as my health declines. The words of Pastor John K. Jenkins during a sermon struck a chord with Linda. He said, "Parents care for and raise you your entire life. The least you can do is care for them when they grow old. But it's sad to see so many elderly still having to financially support their adult children." Linda realized that she couldn't keep this up forever. She wanted her children to understand that at her age, she needed to be financially secure and cared for, not the one shouldering responsibility for the younger generation. Linda decided to sit down with her children and discuss finances. She told them that while she loved them and wanted to help, they needed to learn how to be financially independent. "I've spent my life worrying about my kids, but now I need to worry about myself." She emphasized that she would no longer provide financial assistance and that it was time for them to learn how to manage their money and plan for the future. The lesson Linda learned from all this is that if you want your children to be able to take care of you in the future, you need to teach them how to manage their finances early on. Linda also realized that love alone is not enough. There needs to be firmness and clarity in financial matters between generations to ensure that family relationships aren't strained by unnecessary financial pressures. In a world where many families face economic challenges, Linda has learned to balance love with financial independence. She wants her children to understand that as she ages, she deserves to enjoy the peace and financial security she worked so hard to build. Opportunities for personal growth and rediscovering passions. Living alone can become a powerful catalyst for personal growth and the exploration of long-lost passions. For many seniors, this independence offers a unique opportunity to reconnect with themselves on a deeper level, no longer having to care for others or follow a family schedule. They are free to pursue personal interests or chase dreams that they previously didn't have time to follow. Take the story of Eleanor, a 78-year-old woman living alone in suburban Michigan. In her younger years, Eleanor always dreamed of painting, but her busy life with work and family responsibilities forced her to put that dream on hold. After her husband passed away and her children grew up and moved away, Eleanor finally had the time and space to pursue her passion. She turned an empty room in her house into a small art studio, complete with an easel, drawing table, and watercolor paints she had longed for. Every day, Eleanor spends a few hours painting the nature scenes she loves. "I've always wanted a space just for myself, where I could paint without interruption," she shares. Gradually, she not only developed her skills but also found fulfillment in creating artwork that reflects her emotions and memories. Living alone gave Eleanor the perfect environment to rekindle her passion for painting, something she had never had the chance to pursue before. She even entered local art competitions and sold some of her pieces. Another example is Richard, 81, who lives in rural Oregon. All his life, he dreamed of writing a memoir about his life journey and experiences. As a young man, Richard had wanted to be a writer, but family responsibilities and work left him with no time to pursue this passion. After his wife passed away, his children encouraged him to move in with them, but Richard declined, choosing to stay in his small home where he had the space to write. Each morning, he sits on his porch, writing down memories of his childhood, his military experiences, and the travels around the world he's been fortunate enough to take. Living alone has given Richard the time and focus to achieve his dream of writing. "I feel like I'm finally accomplishing something meaningful for myself," he shares. After years of writing, he completed his memoir and published it with encouragement from the local community. Stories like Eleanor's and Richard's show that living alone can provide the space to pursue old dreams or discover new talents that were never fully explored. This not only brings joy, but also helps maintain a positive outlook, fostering a sense of pride and fulfillment in life. Living alone also allows seniors to focus solely on themselves without being distracted by family responsibilities, giving them the opportunity to enrich their lives mentally and emotionally, develop new skills, and live fully in the joy of their passions. In a society where independence and freedom are highly valued, seizing the opportunity for personal growth and rediscovering forgotten passions can lead to a more meaningful and satisfying life. Social connection and balance. Living alone doesn't necessarily mean being isolated. In fact, it offers an excellent opportunity to establish and maintain deeper, more meaningful social connections. For many seniors, living independently grants them the freedom to choose when and how they wish to interact with others, rather than adhering to traditional social or family obligations. They are free to build relationships in ways that best suit their personal preferences and true needs. Margaret, a 79-year-old woman living on her own in suburban Seattle, has always valued the independence and control she has over her social life. Previously, she often felt restricted by family obligations, attending gatherings she wasn't truly interested in, and spending time caring for her grandchildren when she wanted to focus on herself. But since living alone, Margaret has found a balance between time spent on herself and connecting with others she genuinely enjoys being around. Every week, Margaret attends a book club at the local library, where she not only discusses literary works, but also forms friendships with those who share her interests. "I love that I can freely choose social activities that suit me without being tied down to anyone else's expectations," she says. Margaret also volunteers at the local community center, where she helps other seniors, finding a sense of purpose and fulfillment. This not only prevents loneliness, but also brings her joy through contributing to her community and building meaningful relationships. Psychological and emotional benefits. Living alone after turning 80 not only offers physical freedom, but also helps improve psychological and emotional well-being. Many seniors find inner peace in having their own space to reflect on life, free from the pressures of family or societal expectations. they experience less stress and enjoy a sense of mental tranquility. Alice, an 84-year-old woman living by herself in New Mexico, initially felt lonely and lost after her husband passed away. But over time, living alone allowed her to rediscover a sense of calm. Each day, Alice spends time meditating and walking in her backyard garden. These peaceful moments not only help her maintain mental health, but also provide her with a sense of balance and serenity. In addition, living alone gives seniors the time to reflect on their accomplishments and challenges throughout their lives. It's a precious period to recognize the value of what they've contributed and to appreciate life's simple moments. These reflective moments help them reconnect with themselves and find satisfaction in what they've achieved. Furthermore, having their own space allows seniors to maintain positive emotions. They no longer have to face the stress of complicated family dynamics or the responsibilities of caring for grandchildren. Instead, they can create moments of relaxation, reading, listening to music, or engaging in activities they love without interruption. The greatest psychological benefit of living alone is self-awareness. Without the constraints of family responsibilities, seniors can focus on their own emotions and needs. They learn to listen to themselves, adjust their lifestyle to fit their desires, and strengthen their confidence and sense of security. The ability to control life in later years. One of the biggest advantages of living alone is the ability to control one's life well into the later years. Seniors have the freedom to decide how they want to live, from daily habits to long-term health and financial planning. Thomas, 85, who lives alone in a small house in suburban Boston, started creating his own healthcare plan when his health began to decline. This included hiring a caregiver to visit once a week and scheduling regular health checkups. He didn't want to rely on his children and always felt reassured knowing that he had control over his life. Being proactive in his healthcare helped Thomas feel confident and less fearful about the future. Beyond healthcare, living alone also allows seniors to manage their finances independently. They can plan how to use their assets, create a will, and arrange their retirement funds according to their wishes without worrying about decisions being made by others. This not only gives them peace of mind, but also ensures that everything happens as they've intended. Additionally, seniors can make their own decisions about how they want to be cared for as their health declines. They can choose to stay at home with the support of medical services or, if necessary, move into care facilities that meet their health and financial needs. This helps them feel like they are still in control of their lives, even when facing significant health changes. The freedom to control their own lives not only provides financial and health security, but also gives seniors a sense of independence and autonomy until the end of their days. They can live on their own terms, with thorough preparation for the future, without relying on others. Living alone allows seniors to maintain their independence and self-respect, helping them feel content and fulfilled in their later years. Throughout the colorful journey of life, choosing to live alone is a powerful decision that reflects deep respect for oneself. It's not just about creating a private space, but an opportunity to write a new chapter in life, rediscover forgotten passions, and reclaim a sense of autonomy from within. This freedom not only promotes personal growth, but also serves as a sanctuary for creativity, a place where they can be true to themselves and enjoy every moment to the fullest. Living alone is not a sign of isolation, but of liberation, fostering deeper social connections, better health, and a stronger spirit. It's a precious time for seniors to embrace freedom and chart their own path. Every decision and every step along this journey brings pride, joy, and a sense of fulfillment that nothing else can replace. Embracing this new chapter of life with courage and enthusiasm not only helps them rediscover their inner strength, but also inspires admiration from the world for their resilience and independence. Living alone is more than just a lifestyle choice. It's a symbol of freedom, of a full life lived exactly the way they desire. Let these stories inspire you and give you the motivation to make a change in your life. If you feel encouraged and ready to take action, feel free to share your thoughts with us. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss another meaningful and inspiring story. Thank you for taking the time to listen,